Good y'all, Bandana Dev back again for a review. Review. Please ain't. Today, man, we're gonna talk about the new Travis Scott documentary that came out about 3 weeks ago, I believe it came out from this date. Watched it while I was in Canada. I gotta drop the Canada vlog as well, but I watched it while I was in Canada, and I must say, man, I think a lot of artists should follow up with that, whether it be HBO, whether it be Netflix, Hulu, whatever you're gonna do. But I definitely enjoyed watching that whole documentary, and I think it's a smart move from La Flame. It was very entertaining, very informative. I just loved everything about that. It just made me appreciate Astroworld more. It solidified the top spot for me, over the debate of Astroworld, DBR, Birds, Rodeo. Astroworld, after watching that documentary and from the amount of times I've listened to it from start to finish, Astroworld isn't hands down the best, but it has definitely taken a little bit more. It's like kind of, I'm saying 98 Rodeo, 99 Days Before Rodeo, 100 Astroworld. That's how my list goes right here. Don't be mad about my opinion. Give me you got reasons for it. Explain to me why you think Rodeo and why you think DBR is better in the comment box below. I loved the authenticity. I love just the pure emotion from Travis Scott. I love the way he engages with his fans. He definitely loves his music and he loves his fans. If you can kind of say he's very humble in a way. Like, he knows he's the shit. He knows he's La Flame. He knows he's this big rock star on the planet. But at the end of the day, he realizes that without his city, Houston behind him, without his fans raging at every concert, by the way, which I will never go to a Travis Scott concert like that, at least. You realize that, Travis is just this guy, and he's just this person, this normal person that happened to be on the right end of the stick. You can understand, stop trying to be God a little bit more when you actually understand what he was speaking in that track. It's all throughout this Netflix documentary. I think, fatherhood has definitely changed, La Flame as well. Him having to actually kind of tighten up a little bit, kind of realize like, hey, I got another life in my hands now. I kind of got to get my head straight. I can't do stupid stuff. I think, having Stormy kind of just made him realize, I think it make me tear up, but I was definitely heartfelt when I was watching that moment where Stormy was born in the documentary, and you could kind of see just Travis Scott realizing that this is a new life. Like, this is life. This is a part of life that I never really realized. That's something I'm really hoping his next album kind of hits. I still want the Raging La Flame, but I kind of want the next album to be a reflection, kind of, a wake-up call, kind of just where he's at in life. Just a real album from Travis Scott. See if we can get that, because I know a lot of people like to say that Travis always has a lot of features on his album. That kind of what makes the album the album. We understand that Travis is a production guy first, because that's how he came up in the game from Kanye. But I just want to see if he can actually create one of those albums that kind of just make you just feel something different. When you kind of just have a different outlook on it. Another thing too, man, Travis Scott reps his city hella hard, bro. Like, just watching him get so excited when anything that involves Houston happens, like the whole Astroworld rebuilding of the park. That's what's crazy to me, that Astroworld is actually based on this amusement park where Travis Scott grew up. So that's where the concept comes from. Where he grew up. And when you actually listen to Astroworld, it feels like you're going into a different atmosphere. It feels like we're going into a different universe. That's what I loved about Astroworld. For as much as Astroworld was hyped, it gave you that feeling. It gave you that feeling like we were going to outer space and we were listening to this different album, these different sounds. Also, how the album had this amusement park theme. It felt like a big circus listening to some of those tracks. Just listening to the merry-go-round sounds. I don't know if for you guys, it felt like I was going to the fair in Miami or going to the fair in Tampa. It kind of just was like, yo, I feel like I could play this and you're going to the fair and we're about to stroll on the swings. You know what I'm saying? Are you about to go on the little spinning thing with the car? You know what I'm talking about, the spinning thing in the car. I go for like 3 minutes, go 3 times around and shit. But it felt like I was going into this amusement park, and Travis Scott strongly stuck to that theme. And when a lot of people were doubting Travis Scott on Astroworld, saying that you better come with this shit, because don't forget that Astroworld got pushed about what? It was about 2 years, a year and a half, where it got pushed because Mike Dean needed to, mess with the production or whatever, whatnot. And when he finally was hyping it up, saying this is gonna be the album, this is gonna be the album, we all didn't really believe that, because a lot of artists really don't follow up with their sophomore album strong like that. It's really rare for that to happen. And Travis Scott literally hit that shit on a nail. His album was amazing from start to finish. Even the one track I didn't like, NC-17 with 21 Savage, that track has even grown on me as well. That was actually one of the tracks that had an amusement park kind of theme. So I love that about Travis Scott, man. When they gave him the key, he's going to rebuild the amusement park in Houston. The man is just pro Houston. He loves everything about his city. You can't take that away from him. The man has a family with Kylie Jenner now. He has Stormi, his daughter. He's one of the biggest artists in music. Everything in life is going right for Travis Scott, and that's all, thanks to, not saying all thanks to Kanye West, but Kanye West played a big deal in that as well. We all know the story, man. Kanye West producing for Kanye West, Kanye telling him, hey, man, why don't you just make this music? Try. Another thing, too, man, Travis Scott really, the way he just looks at life is kind of just like, you just do it at the end of the day. You kind of just do it. I want it to be done a certain way. If I don't like it, this is the way I want it to be done. Don't question where, like, there was a times where in the documentary where he was getting really angry, like, hey, I want it to be done this way. I have this vision. Travis Scott is definitely a visionary. That's why his concerts do so well. That's why everybody fucking rages. I didn't really agree with why he got arrested for inciting a riot in Arkansas, which I'm kind of confused about, because how is he inciting a riot there? I mean, that's like me saying, like, I always have this problem too when people kind of just like, remember when the girl got in trouble for telling her ex-boyfriend whatever self multiple times, and then he finally self. She got 8 months in jail, which I personally thought was a long time, a little too long, because if I tell all my subscribers, hey guys, you guys should jump off a bridge, are you guys gonna jump off a bridge? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all control what we do. You do what you do, I do what I do. It's my life. I mean, I don't really have any influence from anybody. I mean, yeah, I can hear opinions, I can hear criticism, but at the end of the day, it's my decision. It's what I want to do. I'm strong-willed enough for that. I don't feel like words should kill. I don't really understand that. Words can kill. That's a whole different topic. But Travis Scott being a visionary, he just had this plan. He has everything planned out, everything mapped out in his head. He's kind of just like how I am, and there are a lot of other people where we have these visions, but we just can't put them out there. I don't know if I'm not the only one that feels like that. I literally have so many ideas in my head, but when it actually comes to doing it and planning it, I am terrible. He's a complete person when it comes to that shit, because if he has an idea in his head, he's going to do it immediately. I mean, I guess for me, you can kind of blame that on my ADHD, because I'll sit there and I'll be like, I have this plan, but then I get overwhelmed by the thought because of how big it is, and I'll kind of will just push it away, because I'm just like, too many things going on in my head at once. I don't really want to do this. It can't be done. I kind of get in my own head. I psych myself out. So I think that Travis Scott just does a really good job with that, man. He definitely puts everything he says, he puts that shit out and more. Like I said, I love the Astroworld theme. I love where he went with that, and it was just a great year for Travis Scott. Now, where there's good, there's bad. I will say, man, I definitely felt for the man when we got to the Grammy part. The Grammy part was just, it was sad, man. And, no disrespect to Nipsey, no disrespect to Mac, no disrespect to even Pusha T, who I thought could have contested for album of the year or rap album of the year. I think a lot of people were really mad about Cardi B, and I know I go back and forth, and then I tweeted the other day saying that Cardi B didn't really deserve that. Travis Scott definitely should have deserved that. I feel sorry for him. The same way I give the pass to Drake, I can't not do that for Cardi B. So I got to be fair in that aspect, because, Drake sells. No matter what, Drake sells. Drake does make good music, in my opinion, still to this day. It may not be rap music, but he still makes great music, in my opinion. So Drake sells, and there's a reason why he sells. Now, just because I say that this track is trash, just because I say that Playboi Carti is trash, just because I say that Lil Yachty is trash, Lil Uzi is trash, any artist, I'm just giving examples. I don't mean to bring them names up, because y'all always say I'm bringing them names up. I'm just saying that the way that I bring those names up, it's a reason why they're selling. Obviously, they're decent, or they're good. They're good enough to sell 1 million records. So when it came to Cardi B, she sold hella records that year. She sold mad records. She had like 5 to 6 songs in the top 10 Billboard or the top 50 Billboard. I believe her whole album was actually on the Billboard for consecutive weeks. So we can't really overlook that. Just because the rap fans, the real rap community, even myself, I would put myself in there, said that the album wasn't better than Astroworld, the world disagreed with that. There was definitely analytics and statistics to back up her claim of winning, rap album of the year because it sold. I mean, that's just what it is. And I know I'm a hypocrite because the other day I tweeted like that, but I really thought about it, man, in the same way that I give Drake, man. Drake can't be that. You can't say Drake is trash when he's selling platinum records in a week or in a day. There's a reason for that. And just because it's 14-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls, 13-year-old girls, yes, just because they're not 21, 22, 23-year-old boys, it doesn't matter. It's still selling. Doesn't matter who the consumer is, it's being consumed. So your opinion isn't any more relevant than a 16-year-old girl from a 29-year-old man. It's just, at the end of the day, it's music. And it's subjective. You take it how you take it. But watching Travis Scott kind of just sit there expecting to win, and the reason why his expectations were so high is because he thought highly of his album Astroworld. That's where I also say the difference is. When he made Rodeo, yes, it changed the game a little bit. The sounds, the old school sounds, the dark vibe. Travis Scott with Rodeo was very experimental. He loved that shit. It was definitely a step up, I guess you could say. I wouldn't say a step up in production from Days Before Rodeo. It was more so, it was definitely mixed a little bit better than Days Before Rodeo. I can argue that. I can agree with you guys on that. It was mixed better than Days Before Rodeo, but Days Before Rodeo, with the authenticity of how dark it was, it didn't even have to be mastered mix. It was mixed just right. The sound was just right for what the album was supposed to be, or the mixtape was supposed to be. Rodeo was definitely experimental. It had a lot of different sounds on there for 14 tracks on there. Please, I hate when you guys come here, 16 tracks fire, 17 tracks fire. It's not the same thing. That was the deluxe version. I don't count deluxe versions in any album. It was 14 tracks. Apple Pie was the track that I loved Apple Pie. It just was different from what the album was, from what we got in the previous 13 tracks in Rodeo. I felt like when we got to Astroworld was a start to finish, a complete project, a theme, everything, a concept, everything that, Travis Scott wanted to put in place, he put it into place. Astroworld, the theme, the space vibes, the features, everything was just well put together. Track placement. I love that album from start to finish. How can you guys not like? As a production guy, that is my album right there. Travis Scott agrees with that. Why do I say that? Because of the disappointment on his face when he didn't win that Grammy. He really expected to win that Grammy. He expected to pick up a Grammy that night for how well that album did that year, for how much work he put into that album, for everything that he done that year. He was so confident in winning that. And that's above Pusha T, because Daytona, for only being in a 10-track, 11-track album, that track was mixed well from Kanye West from start to finish. One track on there I didn't like was the Rick Ross track. But Daytona arguably was the best rap album of the year. And it got beat by Cardi B. I think that's what everybody just kind of just looked at it. I'm not trying to hit it with a female perspective as well, because I know a lot of people were saying feminism. You guys just hate feminism. I mean, I think that wasn't the case here. I think that when you put projects, both projects together, Astroworld just beats it out. You're not saying like beats it out 100%, but it definitely beats it out in any rap world. So I think that's where we're all kind of upset. Travis Scott sitting there with his head down, knowing the results before we did, having to sit there and to know, and to just, kind of just like sit there for the rest of the Grammys. You can kind of say he was disappointed. I think that's the real emotional side of Travis Scott that we haven't really got ever. We always get the rage. We always get the excited, like, let's rage. Like, we always get that from Travis Scott. But from the sadness, I think that's really rare seeing that from Travis Scott. And when he actually talked about it and went back to Houston and apologized to the mayor saying, like, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't bring one home, that really hit my heart, man, because this man really worked hard. He really believed in his album. He really believed in himself. He worked his ass off that year. And if he believes that project should have won the Grammy, then he really truly believes that album is his best album today. Travis Scott does. Not us, not the debates. Travis Scott does. But all that does, man, when you fall, you get right back up. Travis Scott will always be here. He will make another great album. I don't put it past him. He will make another great album, whether it's hype, whether it's, you know, underrated. The album will be supported by the masses. He will get his Grammy. Just like the dude in the documentary said, the mayor said, man, hey, man, look, this is you. We gave you the key. You about to build something right here. Astroworld is your Grammy. Astroworld, the amusement park that we're building, is going to symbolize the work that you put in for the city of Houston. And that's why I'm saying, man, I got to get behind a dude like that, man. Pause. I got to get behind a dude like that who is really fucking with his vision, who is really working his ass off, who is at the same time humble, at the same time not changing. La Flame is just a one-of-a-kind person, man. Like, there's not really a lot of people that come, you know, 10 toes down like him, come correct like him. It's just really amazing seeing success come to someone that deserves it so much. And that's what I always want to talk about, man. I had to get that off my chest, man. I watched it. It was a great watch when I was in Canada. That shit was crazy. I got to drop that Canada vlog. Hey, new vinyls on the wall, man. Y'all can see the 2 new vinyls, man. That's 6,000 likes that you guys gotten on the video. 3K likes on the video. Always a new vinyl on the wall. You guys always complain about my videos that I have no background. It's always blank. So here you guys go, man. This is a way of interacting, getting a little reciprocation from you guys. Tell me how you felt about the documentary. Let me know what you guys felt. Let me know what was your favorite part about it. Let me know what if you guys agree that they should do more artists like this, because I definitely enjoyed that shit, man. That was definitely a refreshing watch. And, you know, great business moves for the artists, great business moves for Netflix. They should keep that shit going. Get in the comment box below, man. Let me know what you think. Hey, hashtag what's your favorite Travis Scott song? I want to hear what's your favorite Travis Scott song. And the debate about Astroworld versus Rodeo, I still got to do that video. I apologize. I haven't gotten to that yet. I will get to that. I promise you guys. I've been talking a lot. The video's run on 19 minutes right now. Till the next time, man. It's me, your boy. Like I always been fucking talking too much. Thank y'all for supporting. Thank y'all for subscribing. Follow me on social media. Let me know what you want to hear. Until the next time, we out. Peace.